welcome back to Screen Fiend. I'm Pam. This is episode 2 of Queen Charlotte. Last episode, we got an introduction of all the characters, and we got to meet Queen Charlotte. She looks like, she's a very independent young lady, and then reality gets smacked in her face that she's been betrothed to the King of England. She gets to England with her brother, and, this is a whole new world for her. She asks questions, but for some reason, nobody wants to answer the question, and she wants to know how the king is. And there's a mystery around him. Who is he? What does he like to do? And no one wants to answer it. So because no one wants to answer her questions, of course, she tries to leave, which I don't even know how she was going to accomplish that. But she says she wants to leave. She's not going to marry this man. And while she's doing that, who does she meet? Queen George. They have really good interaction. And she's like, you know what? Maybe this won't be that bad. So she decides to marry him. And they have a good, wedding and wedding party. I forgot what it was called. But reception party. And then he tells her he has a gift for her. Honey, that was not a gift. That was not a gift. He was like, you going to live over here? And I'm going to live over there. And she's like, well, aren't we married? Aren't we supposed to consummate the marriage? And he's pretty much like, no. And, when he first met her, he's like, listen, you're Charlotte, I'm George. But when she was challenging him at the end, he got super frustrated. And he was like, I am your king. He just went in on her. And, the glamour that he pulled over her head got ripped away. And she's like, okay. Maybe what he said earlier is not really what's going to happen. And again, there's a mystery going on with King George. Of course, we all know what it is. He was manic depressing, aka bipolar. And I think everybody, of course, nobody's going to say anything, but everybody around her knows about it, but nobody is going to say anything to her. And at this point, I said in the last episode, she's going to feel lonely because, first of all, she's the queen. Those are going to be her servants. So she's not going to develop any kind of real friendship with them. Brimsley is definitely tight. Definitely going to stick to his job and not be too friendly with her. So at this moment, she's feeling alone. Yes, she has Lady Danbury, but she don't know Lady Danbury like that. So in her mind, she's like here alone. Her brother went back to Germany. And then she's married to this man who presented himself one way. And then at the end was totally different. Yeah, so that's where we are now. I'm not going to go too deep into it because y'all know I already seen it. So I don't want to go beyond the episode that we've seen. So let's get into the episode. Sleeping alone. I wonder if that's a wig or is that her real hair. Either way, it's beautiful. They waiting for her, honey. Look at her. She's like, this is ridiculous. I don't blame you, girl. She probably do all it. Well, no. She probably didn't do that by herself when she was in Germany. But definitely not all those people.
What is in my engagement diary for the week?
An engagement diary, Your Majesty?
I assume there will be charity visits to the poor or orphans. Are there concerts, operas in my engagement diary?
Your Majesty, there is nothing in your engagement diary.
Like, what are we doing here?
There is nothing in my engagement diary.
No, Your Majesty.
Brimsley, I am the queen.
Right.
I have duties, official duties, do I not?
You do, Your Majesty. You are currently enjoying the privacy of the first days of marriage, Your Majesty.
Oh, her honeymoon.
This is my honeymoon.
Yes, Your Majesty.
And she not with her man. Nobody questions that.
Parliament is calling it the Great Experiment.
Well, it is a great
So?
experiment. Giving out titles to people who look like our new queen.
The point is, there is much talk.
Block.
This must be a success.
It is also very modern now. In my day, there were 7 people in the bedchamber on my wedding night.
Oh, my
To
God.
witness the marital act. He's absolutely perfect. We all agree on that.
Look at them. They're like, yeah.
Truly perfect.
The strongest of kings.
It is just that he has his own mind.
Very independent.
A most original thinker. But
Cut the crap.
if the
He got
actions
mental
one
issues.
usually takes on one's wedding night have not been taken,
Nope.
that would hurt the great
It
experiment.
sure will. He got stuck.
There can be no questions. Do you understand?
There will be no question.
Never a question.
No more climbing, Brandon.
It is a wonderful experiment.
Like, what are we doing here? You gonna spend one night with her? That's crazy. I like that one. That's pretty. Ooh, the library. That's fun. I can get the book myself. I know they all feel bad for her. Look at them. Look, she's reading. Yup, she's reading.
The passage of time does not always reap benefits, and perhaps good things do not always come to those.
Oh wow,
who
the old house. Why shouldn't keep it up?
There are some very special joys well worth waiting for.
Oh, is that Daphne's baby?
No.
Wait, those are
Mama,
Daphne's kids?
I believe you would quite like her. She is a delightful person.
She is an actress. No.
If he loves her.
You are one to talk. Your lady friend is married.
Ooh.
Frederick, what about your wife?
I have not seen her in 20 years.
Good. That's cute.
I would flee the country as well.
Who these
How
people?
is it that none of you have managed respectable relations?
How they disrespecting their mother like
Our
that?
sisters are past childbearing age. We have done our best, and maybe
No.
it is...
Your father and I have provided Great Britain with a great bloodline.
Yup.
It will not end with your generation. This bloodline will continue.
See, that's what happens when we got all them damn kids. Because all them damn kids is like, well, I'm not going to be the next king up, so I'm going to do what the hell I wish to do. All the while she got all them kids and no damn grandkids. Technically she do, but, you know. That means to be cooked just a little bit
Grimsley?
more.
Yes, Your Majesty.
Ready the carriage.
Yup.
Yes, Your Majesty. May I say our destination?
They're cute.
We are going to see my husband.
Boop. That's right, no questions. I'm the queen. Right up.
Where is he?
Your Majesty, we were not expecting
Where is
you.
he?
The observatory, Your Majesty.
I'm always jealous that the King's man has far better quarters than the Queen's man.
To be expected.
That's terrible.
I am more important than you.
That's rude. They haven't seen each other in a minute. He's so little. I could never.
The palace is asking for a report. What are you going to tell them?
Me? Why should I be the one to tell them anything?
What is he who refused to consummate the marriage?
She could have seduced him.
She is a lady.
What is this place?
Charlotte,
Charlotte, like, are you serious?
here you are. It is an observatory for looking at the stars.
Come.
No, come nothing.
Is this what you have been doing?
Excuse me?
Since the wedding? Is this how you have been spending your time since the wedding?
Well, yes, it is most exciting. There is an alignment.
In this room you have...
Observatory, yes.
I don't care what it is.
George, what have I done wrong? What mistake did I make?
You made no mistake.
Did I say something to offend you?
No.
Did I do something to offend you?
No,
Then
Charlotte.
what is it? What is so wrong with me? I am 7 and 10 years old.
Oh, she's
and
17.
Suddenly I am queen. In a strange country, with strange food and strange customs, you do not understand because this is who you were born to be. I cannot do whatever I like. The Queen is not allowed to go to the Modiste or the galleries or the eye shops. I cannot make friends. I must hold myself apart. I do not know a single soul here except for you.
Right.
I'm completely alone, and you prefer the sky to me. George!
What?
Say something!
Oh my God, the
I
frustration.
I want to fight with you. Fight with me. Fight for me.
Go home! Charlotte!
I'll be so pissed that I'm stuck here. At 17, stuck here to deal with this for the rest of my life. Oh my God.
Mornings, evenings, middle nights, and now tea time. I was having tea, Coral. I was embroidering a billow.
I'm so sorry, my lady. Do we know what brought it on?
He went to White's in Mayfair for the first time.
The Gentlemen's Club.
Apparently, as a titled member of the Ton, he has a right to entry, but they refuse to allow him in. He's going to try and join the hunt tomorrow.
I will keep the hot water for your
You can have the title, but you can't
You only have to call.
indulge in the benefits of the title.
Inner thighs. Oh dear. What if he puts another one of his gigantic babies inside me?
They talking about her kids like that.
Orange.
Oh my God.
Take it to the kitchens for the Queen's meal.
I can pick my own orange, Brimsley.
Yes, Your Majesty.
So stop having them do it. They always want to be carried.
I want to meet my ladies
What?
in waiting tomorrow.
Your Majesty is on her honeymoon. You
I
cannot...
can, and I will. You shall not tell me what I'm allowed to do.
Your Majesty, I am the one person who will never tell you what you are allowed to do. I will, however, always tell you how best to do the things you are not allowed to do.
Anyway, I want to see my friends.
I am not allowed to meet my ladies in waiting during my honeymoon.
Well, how long
Would
is
be
this
a rise
honeymoon?
for Your Majesty to meet with all of them. One would want to be discreet.
Okay.
And if one wanted to be discreet, would one trust Lady Danbury?
Child, I can't even talk. Look at that.
How was the tea? Is it to your liking?
The tea is good, Your Majesty.
I like black tea with 1.5 sugars.
What a beautiful dog, Your Majesty.
'Tis a deformed bunny.
Oh, my mistake, Your Majesty.
His name is Rufus.
It was kind of you to invite me to tea. Are you meeting each of your ladies in waiting individually?
No.
Oh,
Brimsley said you would be the most discreet because I am on my honeymoon.
She wasn't supposed to say that out loud.
Going wonderfully, by the way. It is a splendid honeymoon. My husband is the best of husbands. He gave me this beautiful bunny thing.
Aww. But you can't have no
Please speak
life.
freely. No one else does. Yes.
Yes, girl, come sit.
terrible liar. I did not believe a word you said about your honeymoon. Do not try that again in front of society. It will cause scandal. My honeymoon was a disaster. It is all right if your wedding night was not perfect or splendid. You did have a wedding night?
Nope.
He was mean and rude and selfish. He just wanted to leave.
I'm talking about consummating the marriage. Your Majesty, Charlotte, if you did not consummate the marriage, you are not actually married to the king. Your whole position is in danger. Great experiment is in danger. My God, you did consummate.
No. Oh my God.
How many times does he insert it?
As many times as necessary, Your Majesty.
How long does it take?
Sometimes it feels like it takes forever.
Will I enjoy it?
I never have. But I do not believe I have ever thought of it as something to enjoy.
Ooh, I like that position.
Perhaps if it is with someone you like, it is different. I do not know.
Well, I do not like George, so I do not see why we should need to bother ourselves to do this at all. I mean, he clearly does not want me, and I cannot somehow force him to want to do this with me. And maybe that is a good thing, if I'm not queen, if we are not married.
Again,
then maybe we can forget
nobody
all about
wants
this,
to say anything
and I
to
can
her
go
about it.
home.
I know they can't. I know they can't.
It is a Pomeranian. Your deformed bunny. It is a dog.
Mm-hmm.
A very rare and purebred Pomeranian.
Yep. A bougie dog who likes to be carried all the time. Like Jiggy. Hey, Violet girl.
Do sit down and join us.
Such a good mom.
Your Majesty, thank you for the honor of the invitation.
This is a surprise. I thought I would call upon an expert.
Expert?
You have a great many children.
Yes, I suppose I do.
I have a great many children.
As Your Majesty decide.
You have had 2 weddings in 2 years. How do you do it?
Do what?
Get them to want to marry.
It helps if they are in love.
Love.
Yes, love solves a plethora of issues.
I'm going to speak plainly because we are all mature women here. My boys are in love. They are in love with commoners. They are in love with Catholics, and they are in love with actresses, and they are in love with women who are already married.
Woo!
Love is not the issue. Love has produced over 50 illegitimate babies for the crown.
Oh. Lady Danbury.
That's a lie.
Perhaps she can advise.
My 4 children have done me the honor of moving many continents away.
I shall simply find them wives myself, order them to marry, and they can worry about the love part later.
Thank you.
There are royal babies.
That was not quite what I...
Crimson. Have the Lord Chamberlain draw up a list of eligible brides across Europe. Thank you.
You are welcome, Your Majesty.
I wonder what this says about her. Like the colors that she wears here. Like she wears a lot of like tan, but with bold colors. Like she's like
Please
half and
elaborate
half.
on your meeting with the Queen.
I'm not sure I understand.
You met with Her Majesty.
I did.
I am asking you to elaborate.
We had tea.
We had tea.
You had tea,
Yes.
Yes.
and
That's
I
it.
met her puppy.
puppy.
Yes, she has a Pomeranian.
Agatha,
Yes.
we know what tea is generally about.
Okay.
What was this tea about, girl?
I just told you.
You are being purposely obstructive, Agatha, and I will not have it.
Lady Danbury.
Child, she got the
This
cojones.
is my title, Your Highness.
Perhaps we should speak in a womanly way.
Let me handle her for you. If Lord Bute were
I
here.
believe I can manage.
Okay, go on now. Get.
I need to know what is going on at Buckingham House. I need a trusted ear. Do you understand?
I do.
Mm-hmm.
Traditionally, when a title is bestowed, it comes with income and land, an estate. Without those things, a title is simply a title. We all have needs, Mom.
That's right.
You want money.
Nope.
Careful,
Careful nothing.
Lady Danbury.
She got your card.
Merely pointing out.
Caitlin Stark.
You need to know what is going on over at Buckingham House. We need to be equal members of the Tom. We can be grateful to one another.
Now I remember this part, and I was feeling some sort of way of her like dealing with her. I was like, she's gonna betray Charlotte? Like, what is she doing here? George!
Is it all right if I join you for a meal this evening?
A meal? A meal? Are you... A meal?
She don't give a fuck about any of these people around her.
Charlotte, where are you going? Where are you going?
I do not know. Just away from you, wherever you are not.
Charlotte! Charlotte!
Like, you can't be serious.
Give me a chance. Charlotte, stop walking this instant! I realize You have no reason to like me. You have no reason to trust me. I marry you, and then I disappear into my observatory.
Duh.
And then I come here to dine as if... But if you give me just one evening of your time, allow me to show you where my mind has been. It might not make you forgive me, but it might make you hate me a little bit less.
I don't know, George.
Look, do you see it?
I do not see anything.
That's not an excuse to be away from your wife for weeks.
With you hovering and breathing and telling me to concentrate.
Let me just turn the focus a tiny bit.
Step away and let me... Oh my word, what is that?
That is Venus.
Venus? The planet Venus. I am staring at Venus.
You are. I've been studying it.
Well, George, it is beautiful.
It is. My world has been made to revolve around me. It has made me selfish.
Yeah.
You know, it almost does not quite count as a wedding night. Because we did not actually have the night part.
Sure didn't. Now you want some cootie cat? Child. Not in this observatory.
I've been told that as well.
I'm like,
start over.
Get off me.
I think that is a reasonable idea. Does this mean you were coming home to Buckingham House?
Look.
I'm coming home to Buckingham House.
Thank you. Like, cut it out. Tell her the truth. Yeah, I don't need all that. It's coming off anyway.
You are breathtaking.
Aww. And you look like Prince Eric.
1,000 tiny buttons. I'm suddenly concerned that I made the wrong choice.
I'm very good with buttons.
Ooh. Okay. These earphones getting on my nerves. Y'all kissed before? Come on. Love is brewing. Yeah, that first hurt, girl. That shit ain't enjoyable at all. It's like, okay. Oh yeah. Isn't he like outside farming? Right? That's what he was doing, right? The current house, still to this day.
Are you sure?
What do the papers you received from the palace say?
The papers say that it is ours, the land. Do you know how this happened?
I have no idea.
I will tell you how this happened. The king sees me for who I am.
Right.
My value.
Right.
My worth.
If he has gone out for a ride or a walk, we shall hold breakfast for him. I would like us to eat together.
I do not think he has gone out, Your Majesty. I believe he is a visitor.
Your marriage is palace business.
See?
Your marriage is parliament business.
Politics.
Your marriage is the business of this country. This cannot go wrong. I need to know if you have properly bedded her. The crown...
You told me I had to wed for the crown. I did. You told me to charm her to make it easier for the crown. I have done my best. You told me I could not let her know me because I must protect the secrets of the crown. I have not. You told me to bed her. I have done so. I understand. I am the picture of duty. The crown resides within me, embedded like a knife. You do not need to explain it to me, Mother. It is me!
I shall have my breakfast now. There is no need to wait for the king.
What's those cantaloupes? I don't like cantaloupes.
What a lovely breakfast.
She is gone.
Your mother has departed, Your Majesty. I saw to it myself.
And Charlotte?
The Queen is at breakfast in the dining room. If you would like to join her, I can... Shall I send for the doctor, Your Majesty?
No. I'm fine. I do not need him.
Jesus. So that was the episode, and it was pretty much like a continuation of the first one. But this, you know, we see her go about her day to day, and it's really lonely. She has at least 20 people around her, and she still feels by herself. She gets up in the morning, she rings the bell, they dress her, she go eats breakfast. We don't know what she does in between, but it looks like absolutely nothing. You know, then it's probably time for lunch. And then, you know, they dress her again. She goes to eat lunch. She does whatever. I don't know what again, they don't really show the in-between. They just kind of show her throughout when she's eating. But even when she's eating, and I'm telling you, it was like, how many footmen are there? Like 5 or 6. And then she has the maidens and Brimsley. But she just always constantly feels alone. You just feel really, really bad for her. Because it's like, what did her brother, not even she, what did her brother get herself into? And you could see from the ending of the episode that pretty much they sought out, we figured that out from the first episode too, when the Queen was talking to the other lords, but like clearly they sought out for this young woman someone that no one was really going to pay attention to, no one's going to care about the treatment that she's receiving from everybody, and you know, and they can continue to kind of keep George's secret. I can't believe I lost train of thought, but clearly she was there for a reason. Again, you can hear George, you can finally not solidify, but you can finally see that that's what the whole point is. But mind you, she didn't know about that. It was always talked about behind the scenes. But at the end, of course, when she is feeling all happy, he's home, they consummated, that she's feeling like they're on the right path, and then this bomb gets dropped on her when she just kind of eavesdrops on him and his mom, that she's just there to be a body. You know, and I know she feels so wrong for that. Do I feel in the beginning that George didn't like her? No, I think when George met her in the, would you call that like a courtyard? I guess it was like a courtyard when he met her and he saw how spunky she was. I think that's when he liked her, and then eventually he started to like truly like fall in love with her. I really think from this episode that he was like towards the end, he was like really conflicted because he sees her and he likes her, but then all the while he has this big secret that he's trying to keep, but it's kind of keeping him distant from her because of course, you know, he's manic depressed or what we call bipolar now. The moods change and he has no control of them, especially back then because they didn't have medication for that. So he's really, really fearful. I'm trying to remember how long their honeymoon was. Like, is it weeks? Is it a month? Like, what's going on? Because, you know, come on, after a while, doing absolutely nothing gets extremely boring. And then you could see, another thing I want to talk about too, like, you know, again, like I mentioned earlier, she's a very independent person, and to be thrust into this world where she can't simply pick up a book. She can't pick up her own orange. I know that is like really frustrating to her. So back to it, like, you know, she's bored, so she decides to go into the library to look for a book. Thankfully, they didn't tell her that she couldn't read the book, you know, while dinner, but you could tell that it was something improper because they was just looking at her while she was reading the book and eating. I think because Brimsley is in a relationship with that other guy, I don't know his name, I'll probably have to look it up, but because he's in a relationship with the guy, I think he somewhat knows of the secret because they're in a relationship, so they're gonna talk, but I don't think he knows the extent of it, and I think it's just all for duty. Like, you know, to me, Brimsley is more to his duty than his boyfriend. I would say just his boyfriend. I know people would say back then lover, but I would just say partner. I think partner sounds the best. But I don't know. I think Brimsley is more dutiful than his partner. I think his partner's a little bit more lax. But yeah, I just really honestly feel bad for her. And then they trying to, you know, Brimsley, he's at some point, he just can't take it anymore. He's like, listen, like, we need to figure this out. The marriage hasn't been consummated. He's not even like during the day just like hanging out with her. Like, we need to fix this because trust me, people are talking regardless of you. And that's another thing too from back then. They try to keep secrets, but I don't see how you would keep a secret when you got all this fucking staff around you. These people are going to talk. Hence, Lady Whistles and how she got her information. They're going to talk, and your secret is never really a secret. And of course, probably, I'm not too sure if the queen, I'm going to call her Queen Regent. She's Princess something. But, well, I might as well just call her Princess because Queen Charlotte's Queen Charlotte. But the princess, I think she kind of figured that they weren't together because when she was sitting there with the lords and they were talking about, you know, the great experiment, whatever. The great experiment, you know, is it working? Have they been together? Have they consummated? Because I think maybe they were getting a few tips from the servants that they're not around one another. He keeps his distance away from her and she's living over here in, was it Buckingham? And he was over there in the queue. So I think they got somewhat of information. However, the lords really don't know what's going on. She is keeping a tight leash on her son because he's probably, how old are you when you start to show signs of a mental disorder like I know schizophrenia is like the late teens, early 20s. I wonder if bipolar is the same. I feel like bipolar is a little bit earlier than that, than late teens, maybe like mid-teens, like 15, 16. Probably so, because if she's 17, he's between, I would say 18, 20, 21, something like that. So he's probably been showing signs since he was like 15. And before his father died, they were really keeping a secret on that. Of course, there's certain people who know, and they keep that tight lid. But I know she's keeping it tight from the Council of Lords. I forgot what they're called, but they're called the Council of Lords. Because trust and believe me, if they found out that he had this loopy mind, they called him loopy back then, loopy minds, that he would definitely been like unfit to be king and they would have replaced him. And who knows, that whole line would have just been done and they would have just crowned somebody else. Because they don't say if King George has siblings or not. I'm assuming he doesn't. So I think that's what it is, just to keep their family in royalty, I would say. What else I would say? Oh my God, Lady Danbury. So when I first initially watched this with Lady Danbury and she was talking to the princess and they made some sort of deal, like she would kind of give her insight, and for the deal of giving insight, then I would want, my husband needs to be invited to this, my husband needs to be invited to that, we need the land that's supposed to go with it, the house, and all that other stuff. I remember that when I first initially, I was like, oh my gosh, she's gonna portray Queen Charlotte for that. But in actuality, she really didn't. She didn't tell her much, because I remember she didn't really tell her much when it came to Queen Charlotte. But let me tell you something. Even though she's a princess, she's not the higher up. Lady Danbury has some huge balls to be like, no, my name is Lady Danbury. Do not be calling me Agatha. You need to address me correctly. That's not happening over here. Because you sit there and you giving us title for the great experiment, but where's the rest? Respect me for who I am and what you gave me and my husband. And of course we learned that she got 4 boys, because I think when we were watching Bridgerton, and I think we knew that she had children, but this of course this series definitely told us that she had 4 boys. She doesn't have any daughters, because she's saying when they go back from the present to the past, she said they all left and went on to different continents, and the only people I could think about is men doing that. Usually the girls, they kind of keep a little, you know, a little bit more of a tighter leash on them, even though they're probably married, you know, they're married to someone else. But fast forward to her, Queen Charlotte in the present. She got all these children. She got like 13 kids. She got 50 legitimate children. 50. Literally had one legitimate child who was pregnant, by the way, and she died. And the funny thing is that she was talking, I don't know, it's crazy because I don't know, it's just like you could see the lack of respect that they have for her. Like, she's literally talking to them about them taking it seriously. Like, listen, our heir is not here. You guys have, y'all like, you're running around, you're screwing everything that you can, but you guys are not legitimately having children. And she's like, listen, this line, how do you have 13 kids, 13 children, and not with one legitimate kid? That's crazy. And you know why? You know why? Because they have the oldest son, the one who's like whimpering. I'm assuming he's supposed to be the next king, right? And the other kids don't have the duty that he has. Like I said before in the Bridgerton series. So they get to do whatever they want to do. They get to do whatever they want to do. Especially the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh. All those kids down. Because maybe the second one may be a little bit different. Because we never know what's going to happen to the first one. But the rest of them, they like free as hell. I just don't understand the disrespect when she's trying to talk to them. She's like, listen, this is not working out. Like, there's no other kids. Y'all need to get serious and have babies. And I'm confused when it comes to her daughters, right? What's going on with her daughters? They're princesses. All these people are princes and princesses. Why is there only one daughter that's married? And then she can't have kids. She's having a hard time having children. What is going on here? I think I looked it up and saw, like, did any of them have, like, the real... I'm trying to figure out, did I look up Queen Charlotte? I think it was real that she had all those children. And if she had if any of her daughters have kids. And I don't think they did. I have to look it up again. I don't believe they did. And it's just wild to have so many kids and not have any legitimate children. Mind you, she got 50 illegitimate kids, and that's a lot. First of all, that's a lot. How many boys does she have? It looked like there was like, what, 6 or 7 boys? Yeah. That's a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids. Even if you had 7 boys, that's like they have like 7 kids between one another. That's a lot of children. That's a lot of kids. And you telling me out all that, you telling me you couldn't marry not one woman that had a kid? A legitimate kid? That's wild. But it was a good episode. We'll see what's gonna happen in the third one. Will she confront George about what she heard when he was talking to his mom? Like, you know, this is just duty. Because I think that really punched down her gut. Like, it really bore her down that, you know, this is just a facade. I don't think it's really a facade. I think he really does like her. I don't think he loves her, but I think he really does like her. But it's this tug of war of what's going on with him here, with him, his mom, and his mental issues, and then him wanting to have a real marriage with Charlotte. So we'll see in the third episode if she's going to confront him. He's going to be honest about what's going on. And yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And if you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If this is one of your first videos that you've seen, or you've seen a collective of my videos and you have yet to subscribe, make sure you do. There's lots more to come. I took a little break because I traveled to North Carolina, South Carolina to look at some places to live. So I did take a little break. And then, of course, also I had some internet issues where I had to buy separate internet for this specific room when I have internet for the whole entire apartment. It's wild. Anyway, yeah. So I'll see you guys in the next video. Toodaloo.